So, Jelena is what I call a lovable villain. She has enough redeeming qualities that compensate for the fact that she does so much bad. But anyway, so this is the review for, or the recap, for Hit the Floor Season 3, Episode 8, Setup. And it starts off with them, where it left off last week, which is German going and admitting the fact that he killed Olivia. Whether it was intentional or not, he still ended up killing Olivia. And so everyone's freaking out because it's like, wait, Ahsha, you knew? You knew? Why didn't you tell us? What's going on? Why wouldn't you tell us? It's like, well, I didn't tell you because at the end of the day, I didn't want you guys to judge me the way that you're judging me right now. And I'm like, Ahsha, we have a lot to judge you on, so... So, this is just the tip of the iceberg. And so Ahsha goes and admits the fact that she had Olivia go and rig the competitions, all stars, so that she would beat Jelena, and she had to do it because she couldn't let Jelena win. And remember, Ahsha was also manipulative, very manipulative, because she used the fact that Pete was her father to try to secure the fact that she could win all stars, and it wasn't enough. And it's just like, damn, she really did a lot. So anyway, you have Jelena going and she's meeting up with her father because she needs closure. She needs to go and move on. If she's going to have a great marriage and eventually have kids with Terrence, she has to go and get over the emotional scars that she has from growing up with her father who was abusive to her mother. So after that, Sloane gets back to work. And Sloane goes and gives this candid speech or statement about how, because they were trying to press her to get a response. They're like, you know what? Based on what was currently going on, I understand why Olivia said what she said. And then Sloane backpedaled a little bit and was like, but at the end of the day, she went on false pretenses and still went for the jugular. And she will not be excused for that. I'm like, all right. Olivia Pope wannabe. And Ahsha is feeling guilty, as she should, because as we know, German, regardless of how crazy he's gotten, has had her back regardless, and through it all. And so she feels really bad because German isn't fighting for his freedom. He's just accepting whatever comes, and whatever they're painting him as, he's going for it because he feels very guilty. Something that Ahsha is finally learning what that actually means, because for a while she's been doing whatever she wanted to do. Afterwards, we have Jude meet up with Lionel, and Jude's trying to figure out, Lionel, I need you to play ball here. Literally, I need you to play ball. You cannot go around and just say and do whatever you want. That's not going to happen because you're the wild card. I'm the calm one. We need to come as a united force. We need to come as very stable. Do you know what that means, stability? And anyway, we fly past that. And because he wanted her to go and make a statement about Sloane being out and that she essentially takes back what she initially says. Lionel's like, kiss my ass. That's not happening. Jelena goes and speaks with her father. And she's just like, look, Dad, I need you to go and speak the truth. Not speak your truth, but speak the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Can you possibly do that? Yeah, no, I feel like that's just something that needs to just, we just need to let that die. And by the way, I'm going to be watching couples therapy, not couples therapy, what is it, like family therapy? Whatever that is. That looks good. The thing that's coming on, yeah, family therapy, comes on VH1 next Wednesday, or this Wednesday. Definitely watching that. Now, the last scene before the original commercial break is where Pete and Ahsha are at the jail. And Ahsha wants to go and, of course, see German. But German wants to see Pete because he likes Pete. He has a good rapport with Pete. And he doesn't want Pete to think badly of him. He doesn't want to see Ahsha, not because he doesn't love her or hates her. The reality is that Ahsha will try to talk him out of just accepting all of the blame and guilt. And so he doesn't want that. He wants to accept all the burden. This is his moment to be the knight in shining armor, almost. Still, which is ridiculous, because Ahsha doesn't deserve it. And who pops up? Olivia's husband. Well, widow. Technically. Chase. You know, Rick Fox. That's who plays Chase. Olivia's husband. And so, of course, he's pissed, because it's like, Pete's trying to say how German's a good guy. And I'm like, wait a minute, Pete, let's backpedal a little bit. At the end of the day, German was the reason why Olivia died. So how are you going to go and say to her husband, oh yeah, but he's really a good guy? No, that's not how real world works. We don't play those type of games. So Jelena goes and speaks with her mom, and it's just like, look, I need to go and have a real conversation with him, and you need to go and set that up. And also need to make sure that you don't stop us from having that conversation. Stop protecting him. So we'll see how that turns out. Kyle is in charge of actually choreographing the Devil's Girl dance, and of course Raquel is just like, oh yeah, I don't think you're ready. It's like, boob check, okay, now you're ready. And so Kyle goes and she kills it. She kind of does like this Grease, kind of like this Grease meets Devil's Girl rocker chick dance, and it was really cool. It was interesting to see Kyle take that main stage and be the main one front and center. That was an interesting twist and kind of turn of events. I appreciated that. And shout out to her for doing all of those stunts, because I was like, she was in the air most of the time. She was in the air. She was doing all those flips. I'm like, Lord Jesus, just slow down the dance a little bit. Do not drop her. Whatever you do, do not drop her. So speaking of being dropped, Sloane and Lionel go and meet up because they're both trying to figure out how they can use each other. Lionel needs to go and create a united front with Sloane. Sloane isn't having it. Sloane's like, look, you had the audacity to go and say what you said, and now you want my help because now your ass is grass? No, that's not how things work. And Lionel tries to bring up the whole, well, you were with my man and while I was pregnant, and so then that caused extra stress and caused me to lose the baby. And Sloane was like, look, well, my baby as in Ahsha was in danger with everything that you've been doing, so we're going to drop that. We're going to drop that right now. Jude is talking to Zero because Jude essentially needs Zero's help. Lionel is a wild card, and even though Zero's also a wild card, at this point Zero's really happy. So he's just going to go along with anything for the ride. And I like how I said that. So he needs to impress one of these investors, and of course the investor loves Zero, so he's going to take him as his wingman, as his, I guess you can say, housewife, however you want to phrase it. Ahsha, like I said, is still being very guilty, and Ahsha just talks about how German was there for her, and she might not have ever gone to and joined the Devil's Girl if it wasn't for German, and how she still would have been a waitress or a barista, whatever it was, if it wasn't for German. And I'm like, you know what, Ahsha, you keep saying all this, but we're not going to feel bad for you because you still cheated on German with Derek multiple times. After German kept coming back and help. Ahsha. Anyway, so Kyle is freaking out because this is when we find out how they're going to go and kill off Raquel. Of all people, Raquel, I was hoping that something would happen to Ahsha. I was really hoping, because as far as her character, I don't like her. I'm just ready for her to go. I accept almost everyone else. Everyone else, literally everyone else can stay except for Ahsha. She can go. Let's ship her off somewhere. But not Raquel. What about Miguel? Who's going to take care of Miguel? Oh, it was so... no, I don't accept that. I rebuke that. So Chase is going and he meets up with Sloane and Pete. And they're both trying to defend German. And essentially they're trying to say how, you know what, if you get to know German, he's actually a good guy. And so that's why you shouldn't go so hard on him. He's already being pretty hard on himself. And I'm like, what world do they live in? Are they all so entitled that they just assume that because, oh, well, we say this is what it is, that's what it'll be, and so everything has to fall in line accordingly? No, that's not how the real world works. That is not how the real world works. And I'm glad that Chase is like, screw you guys, you actually want me to feel bad for the person that killed my wife. Okay, in what world? So Jude and Zero have something. We find out what Zero is bad at. Well, he's bad at a lot of things, but he sucks at tennis, and so there is that. Afterwards, we bring back Jelena, because we know Jelena and Raquel have had a very rocky relationship, but at the end of the day, that's actually one of Jelena's close, true friends and friendships, and that caused Jelena to just be over it. She's already having the family issues, and to top it all off, now her actual friend is dying. She doesn't have months to live. She has weeks, possibly weeks to live. And I'm like, why Raquel? Why Raquel, though? It doesn't even make sense. It just came out of the blue. Who are they going to replace her with? And also German, he's going to be locked away. So you're taking... Terrence gets called into a meeting with Pete and Sloane because they find out that, you know what? Are you guys still interested in trying to buy the Devils? It's like, well, yeah, but the investors, we still have some investors, but they're not willing to sell the team. That's not true. Sloane has the full backing of the board members, so, and the corporation or the industry, whatever, however you phrase it. And that means that they have the ability to go and buy the team, or at least get offered to buy the team if they really want to. After that, you have Kyle, who's trying to get a drink, and of course she meets up with Derek, because her and Derek actually kind of had like this weird pseudo relationship, because they were both off doing some foolishness, because Kyle was kind of like escorting and Derek was doing the whole drug thing, and so that's why they knew each other, and they kind of had each other's back from a while ago. And so Derek's trying to go and make small talk, but Kyle's over it. She just can't deal with she can't fake the funk right now. Not right now. Jelena goes and meets up with her parents again, and this time, because they're leaving, and Jelena is just like, you know what? I don't care what you have to say. I wanted you to speak the truth, but since that's not going to happen, here's what's actually going to happen. You're going to sit there, shut up, and listen to me. Can you do that? And shout out to her mom, because her mom put her foot down and was like, you're going to listen to her. This is happening. This isn't like how it was years ago when I let you do whatever you wanted. And Jelena spoke her piece and essentially just talked about how even though you didn't physically do anything to her, emotionally she is scarred. She is scarred, and as a result, she has gone off and ruined relationships. She's terrified of having kids of her own because she's not sure what type of parent she's going to be. But no, she knows exactly what parent she's going to be. She's going to make sure that they feel safe and they feel loved, and essentially everything that he couldn't provide as a father and as a man, she's going to do right by hers. And so screw him, since he didn't want to go and be honest and just admit why he had those issues and reacted the way he reacted while she was growing up. She doesn't need to see him again. She doesn't need to see him ever again. Ever again. Which means you're not seeing the grandbabies. Nothing. Officially done, cut out of her life. But she goes and speaks to her mom, and she was like, her mom was trying to apologize, and she was like, stop. You know, you don't realize this, but this is the first time you actually just let me talk, speak my piece, and allowed me to say what I need to say to him, and you didn't defend him. You had my back, and that's all I've ever wanted. And I'm just like, oh, here we go. Here come the tears. Here come the tears. The waterworks. There we go. Because this was a real moment. Jelena's still being strong, but showing some vulnerability. It's like, this was the woman who I needed in my life years ago, and I'm just glad she's there now. Oh, the character growth. And then we go back to the foolishness. Ahsha is bugging out because she's at the police station. I'm like, Ahsha, you need to chill, because they'll happily put you in jail along with German unless that's part of your plan. So Derek takes her out because she bugs out. She bugs out. And Jude's actually trying to figure out, so yeah, thanks for helping me out, but you know, I do know some great private investigators. I can find your sister if you want me to. And Zero's like, you know, I'm cool. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? What? How does that make any sense? You're just cool? So Terrence is like, I have great news, baby. We have the opportunity to buy the team again. I had a meeting with Sloan and Pete. And Jelena had the same look I would have. Sloan and Pete? Are you sure? Really? And I was like, yeah. It's like, okay, that's great. He was like, oh, so what's wrong? It's like, you know, I talked to my father and I said my piece and that's it. But, you know, Mom and I, we're on good terms now. We are. I was just surprised. So one door closed, another one opened. So, what's her name? Laurel? Is that her name? Lionel. Lionel went and talked with Zero since Jude was gone. And so Lionel's like, so where is he? Where is he? And what have you guys been doing? It's like, we had to go and schmooze one of the board members / investors because it was either we do that or they lose complete faith and confidence in the both of you and the Kincaids, and who knows what they will have done. Zero, he is not the diplomat. He just says it out it is. And I'm like, Zero, I understand that's the truth, but you're being a little too blunt with Lionel. She's going to think that Jude betrayed her, and that's exactly what she said. It's like, no, he had your back. It's like, no, the one person I trusted doesn't trust me or doesn't think that I'll be able to conduct myself professionally, and so that hurts. And I'm just like, oh, Lord, touch these people because they need it. Now, everyone's in a meeting, everyone meaning Jelena, Terrence, and Derek. They're speaking with the board because Derek is now supporting Jelena and Terrence. Remember, he was initially backing Lionel because Lionel was helping him with Ahsha. And the board's like, so why change of heart? He essentially says, Terrence bleeds for this organization. He actually cares about the players and about the game. This is not just about the money. And Yelena's like, oh, yeah, but by the way, we'll handle the business. Don't worry about that. And the guy was like, you know, I do understand. I hear your proposal. So we'll take this in consideration. This is where I love Jelena, the strong woman she is. She's like, no, we'll give you 24 hours. Our deal is only good for 24 hours. After that 24 hours, we're gone. We're bouncing. And I believe her because that's the thing. They could always come back later. So that's why that power move works in her favor. That's why it works. What's his name? German has his court case and it's not going so well. It is not going so well. And Chase is there. So it's like, oh crap. That's not going to help him either. Like I said, Raquel actually had her will and testament essentially done up. And it looks like Kyle might become a new stepmommy. Because what else is going to happen? Like, really? The only other thing I could see is Miguel going and moving back with his father, who hasn't had much contact with him. I'm like, that's not fair. He knows Kyle more than he knows her. Like, at least joint custody or something like that, since they're technically legally married. Aside from that, Jelena goes and finds out that she most likely won't be able to have kids, period. And I'm like, damn. When she finally wants them, she can't have them. That is how the world works sometimes. But, like I said, Zero does not want to really meddle in his sister's life. I think he's just afraid of figuring out what happened to her. And I'm sure she knows who he is. It's like, why didn't you search for me? There's a lot going on that we don't know about. That's actually a very interesting storyline. And so, but, woo. Almost fell. The second to last thing is, like I said, Lionel goes and meets Oscar in jail. She does that because she's making a power move. She has to make the power move because her goal is to take back control of the empire that she took from him in the first place. And he already told you can't do this without me, baby. So he's released. He is free from jail. And I'm just like, okay, so that's what happens. You're killing off 2 people and you're bringing back Oscar. That's not even an exchange, but I guess we'll have to take it for now. So German goes, speaks his piece, says he did it for love. He did it for love. He did it for Ahsha Hayes. I'm like, okay, why are you bringing attention to your girlfriend like that? Well, I mean, your ex-girlfriend. So German gets 20 years in jail. He gets 20 years. Long story short, he gets 20 years. Everyone's like, oh! And then the crazy... Oh my... So we losing 2 people. Rick Fox, Chase, Olivia's husband, he stabs German. And I'm like, how did he even get in there with a weapon? I thought they checked people when they go in there. Like, what's really going on? He goes, walks, and oh my... They stabbed German. He's not dead, but oh Lord Jesus, save him. See, he does all that good. He does one bad thing and gets all that bad karma. That's how life works, though. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week. Answer the poll. Do you like Ahsha or do you not like Ahsha this season? Trifling ass.